Well, tax season is in full swing. Since January 20th, millions of people around the country have been filing their taxes and waiting for their refunds. But for some, that wait has been longer than in previous years. ABC 7's Bobeth Yates joins us now with more on the story. Bobeth?
That's right. Thousands have seen their refund wait time jump from 6 to 8 weeks to now undetermined. And the common denominator between many of those is the Affordable Health Care Act, or Obamacare.
Said my refund would be available within 3 weeks. After the 3-week mark, I did not receive my taxes.
That concern you just heard was from an anonymous ABC 7 viewer who wanted to share her story.
I went back on the IRS.gov website. Where's my refund? It said still processing. Date will be available soon.
But after waiting weeks, soon wasn't a good enough answer. The caller then reached out to her tax office, who could not explain the holdup. But they did tell her she wasn't alone. In fact, a common denominator among her and others with delayed returns was the Affordable Health Care Act insurance exchange.
They told me that chances are, because of the marketplace insurance, I was one of the ones caught up in that whole mess.
But the caller says she was unable to validate that information because when she reached out to the IRS, she was on hold for more than 3 hours before finally giving up. We reached out to CPA Joe Gruters, and while he couldn't comment directly on the caller's return status, he did tell us the IRS has delayed processing returns for those who received coverage through the federal marketplace.
The IRS has been taking some of these returns that have 1095A attached to it, and what they're doing is they're doing a secondary review.
The 1095A is a form that itemizes your insurance. It also includes any credits for insurance purchased on the exchange. And Gruter says that's where the holdup began.
800,000 of those 1095As were sent out with the wrong information. And so that means what the IRS has basically said is, if you've received one, hold on until you've actually gotten the correct one back.
The documents were sent from the federal government. Gruter says it's part of the growing pains with the new system.
Whenever you have a new program and a new tax situation, you're going to have some speed bumps, and hopefully we'll get through this and people will get their refunds within a couple of weeks.
In the meantime, the ABC 7 anonymous caller says she's in limbo.
So I'm completely frustrated. I still have no answers.
Now, the IRS says more than 90% of refunds are issued within 21 days of the tax return being accepted. They also say they're seeing a normal volume of returns being held up.